Welcome to Not a Great Whisperer podcast. I'm your host, Katie Ray, and I am with my friend from how long have we been friends? Like 5 years?
Yeah,
6
about
years?
5.
Joseph Resendez. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
I nailed it.
Hey.
Welcome. Heyo. So we worked together previously in our previous life.
Long ago.
Long time ago. But we stay connected. We kind of stay up to speed on everything we're doing. But thanks for joining. You made this a part of your day, and I appreciate you.
No problem at all. It was a bit hectic, like I was saying earlier, getting over here. Traffic, as most know that live in this area.
Tampa will get you.
Yeah.
Any time of day. It doesn't matter.
It caught me.
It gotcha.
But hey, I'm here though.
Yeah, you
right?
made it. So let's talk about everything you're doing right now. You are a busy person.
Always.
Yeah, and I love that. You're always like different groups of people, helping so many different people. So one of the things I want to bring up was the camp that you always go to every summer.
Yep.
Still do?
Well, actually, that got put on hold because of COVID. Yeah. But we went virtual with it. So we did have like a virtual dance and everything. It was a lot of fun to see old faces and catch up with new campers. Can't wait to actually.
What's the camp about?
So it's called Trails Edge Camp. It's up in Mayville, Michigan. It's been around since, I'd say 89, was the first year. It's for ventilator-dependent children. So most are quadriplegic, but there are some that are still able to walk, and they are all ventilator dependent. So that means that they need some sort of breathing apparatus to either survive through the night or to help assist them breathing during the day as well. It just all depends on the severity.
And how did you get into that?
Well, actually, I was born with a disability, severe breathing disability. There's only now 1,200 people in the world with it. It's called congenital central hypoventilation syndrome. Long story short, basically, my brain doesn't tell my body to breathe, whether I'm awake or asleep. It's a pain, but I use a BiPAP at night, and I've been living with it my whole life, so I know to take breaths in between my conversations. But yeah, so I started going to that camp, and when I was about 3 years old, that was the only one that was allowed for me. And plus, it gave my parents a week away from me and get out of their hair. And so when I turned 16 or so, and even prior before that, I was always helping with the campers, doing whatever I could to stay up through the night, help with any medical needs or emotional. Sometimes that's their first time being away from their parents, so they don't know who to talk to or anything like that, or who to express their emotions to. Or sometimes they express it in a way that isn't really too friendly, should I say. So I typically help with that, and I've been doing that since, like I said, officially since I was about 16. And I moved down here when I was 18 from Michigan, and that's when I just started driving back. I'm terrified of heights, so I don't fly. So yeah, that's why that first year when we met, I collected all those items. And
you drove it.
Yep. So I still do that. I collect items from Florida, and I take it up there for them whenever I go up and visit.
So is next year you think we'll still be on?
Hopefully.
Next year. It's hard, right? For those kids, especially because they have trouble breathing.
They do. And especially with COVID going on right now, none of the parents, none of the medical staff either want to run the risk.
Yeah, of course, risk that for them.
So that's why we just went virtual. We went virtual last year. We went virtual this year. And hopefully, like we're discussing now, that next year we actually get to be there in person.
Yeah, I hope so. I remember your first time when you're like, hey, I need this summer off. And I was like, oh. And then once you told me, I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, you need the summer off. First you're just like, you're not a teacher though. And then you're like, yeah, you are. You're a fucking counselor. I love it. And I think that's amazing. You know, people talk about really giving their time and attention to youth and just people that connect with them. But you were in their place So it's really good to have that connection. And I think that gives them a lot of what they need is like people understanding what they're going through and they want to be a kid.
And it gave me a different outlook as well because I get to see that side of life along with I was never treated as having a disability ever growing up. So I'm actually, this past year and a half, I've actually been more open and acceptant to it because in my past with prior employers or relationships, I've just always kept it secret in a way. It's just when people know that you have a disability, they talk to you and act different. Yeah. And growing up around it, you really notice it.
So you think you have to keep it?
Well, used to. Now I totally take it forefront. But so talking about that, I'm actually doing a mentorship coming up soon. I was just sent a application to sign up for that. I'm not necessarily sure what it's for, other than I'll be mentoring other kids with disabilities that want to break into
you're I'm not sure what it's for. Yeah. Of course. Well, also you're telling them you're not defined by this label. You know, like you're who you are, and you're right. When people say disability, it's like you have a disability. Like like they don't say it with and you're just like.
It's definitely awkward.
And as a kid, it makes you feel kind of shameful in a way, and it's not right. But now as an adult, you're like, no,
it's whatever.
Yeah, it's good you're going to help and mentor because you don't want them to have to go through the same process.
No, not at all. And especially when you're breaking into the professional life. When you go to college, sometimes there's a more severe people with my disability that actually still have their tracheotomies in them. However, they can't really go to college without having a nurse with them. So sometimes they don't go to college. Yeah. And trying to break into the professional life and get in a corporate job, it's hard, and it's hard to navigate, especially the stress and anxiety that comes with it. Even when you have a panic attack or anything like that, when people aren't used to that and they see it not educated, they act different and they don't know how to handle it.
You're right. That's a good example too, like panic attacks and anxiety. People don't get it, so they're just like, oh, anxiety.
Calm down, chill, bro. Yeah.
Like, no. Can you just relax? What? That's not how that works.
No, not at all. And so when all these kids who don't know how to handle that and they're trying to break in to the corporate life or just get a professional life, that's what I wanted to start giving back to.
And where are you doing this?
It's actual virtual. And
love that. People just book time with you?
Yeah, I guess it's nationwide. This is going to be the first time. Yeah, I just got sent the application from my friend Nico last week. So I've been lazy filling out it. I'm going to do it today because the deadline, I think, is tomorrow. And we just talked about it. So yeah, and we just talked. Yeah. Got to put that in my phone after this. Do not forget.
I'll remind you. And you were doing podcasting for a while too, right?
Yeah. I was actually helping Law Smith and Eric Redinger over at Sweat Equity do their podcast. Actually, one of the first tasks that I got was JP, their editor, wanted to have Randy from Trailer Park Boys come on the show. And so I'm like, yeah, let me just see what I can do. I'm a great BSer. I network with virtually everyone.
I know.
And so I just connected with someone that he turned out to be his assistant. And so when they were here in Tampa, me and JP went to the show, hung out backstage, brought him actually onto their show. And me and Eric did that episode. And then from there, I've just been helping them off and on since then. And went to the Tampa Bay Film Festival, got a few actors and directors to come on the show for them from there. And so, yeah.
So the networking you're doing to get them guests.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love that. You are a master connector.
And it's helped me learn a lot of video editing that I didn't know prior.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, because it's on video too. Yep. It's not just audio. So what else have you been doing?
Oh, Sheesh.
Oh yeah, what
so
about
much.
is it martial arts?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. So,
my bad.
yep, I'm still training that 9 hours a week, trying to, that is pretty much taking priority.
Oh, good.
Everything else works around that, cause I do want to teach in the future one day, but
So is that a whole certification process you go through, or you just have to?
I guess we do get we do get a big certification whenever we get promotions.
Oh, okay.
Belt colors and whatnot. And it typically goes white to blue is 2 years. Blue to purple is about 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Purple to brown is about 4, and then brown to black is about 4 to 5. Of course, depending on who you are and the skill level. But I train over at Hobson Moros off of Hillsboro HQ.
Awesome.
And yeah, and now I sort of help teach as well over on my own. Once in a while, I do have a few students of my own that I teach at their houses.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Do you find that people tell you to like focus on one thing, but you don't want to?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, people are like, I just got told.
I don't want to be told that.
I got told the other day, they're like, oh, it's great to be a jack of all trades, but you know, when you get older in life, you're not gonna have anything in life. And I'm like, what? No.
That's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah. I'm like, well, you're wrong, because for one, I'm going to have a successful vlog blog, the highly recommended. I'm going to be more knowledgeable in my jiu-jitsu. I'm going to have helped many more people in my life. So,
but you're never going to accomplish it.
Yeah.
Basically, you're never going to get anything done because you know so many things. What?
Yeah, it blew my mind. And that's always also astounded me is how people, cause my family is like very, factory lifestyle.
Stay stable in one thing. So
yep. That very much. And so I never understood it. And I've watched them in the 2008 market crash, lose their jobs, lose their 401ks, this, that, and the other. And so that just really instilled along with my life of living with CCHS. Yeah. It's just like, I'm going to do whatever makes me happy and makes me money at the same time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're just like, okay, I'm making money though. So this is weird. So how is that support though with your family? Do they say anything or it's just, kind of?
No, they definitely, they're like, whatever.
Yeah. You're still doing you. Yeah. As long as you're getting shit done. What have you noticed though with like networking with people pre-COVID to now? Like how different is it?
Okay.
Well, first of all, there's no events. Second,
well, there are
now they're back.
There's some events, and even prior, it just got more private and more like personable.
Yeah.
But I feel like now that the events are getting bigger, people are like really happy to see you, whereas before they'd go to these events and expos, whatever. Yeah, they just be like, not stare, but they just be like, hi. Yeah, pleasure to meet you. Great. Doing these every week or whatever. That kind of attitude. But now it's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. How have you been? So and it's even with strangers. It's just, I've noticed that they're a lot more happy to see and be around others, to have that human connection. Yeah, that human connection, that they haven't had over the past year. And some still aren't having. So hopefully things change.
Do you still go to virtual events?
Yeah.
Not hosting, but like you go to them?
Yeah, no, I attend them. I was attending the Sensi magazine, Michigan Cannabis Connection, just last week or the week before.
Oh, I could totally see you going to that.
Yeah, so I was on that virtual. I try to do, if I got the time, and it's a virtual event or even a local event, I'll try to go there and just meet people. Why not?
Like, what's like a typical day for you? Like, how busy are you?
Luckily, I have a little bit of ADHD, so I'm able to do multiple things.
Oh, okay.
But typical day.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that in a positive. People always try to use it as a negative, and I'm like, you do multiple tasks.
Yeah.
100 things at once.
It just gets it all done in small increments. You just gotta get used to it. If you want anything done fast, it's not gonna happen. But a typical day for me, wake up, of course, I won't eat breakfast. I typically eat lunch. So I'll wake up, shower, do that whole thing, drink orange juice. I'm a big orange juice or apple juice person.
Why?
What?
Vitamin C?
Don't know. I have no idea, but I love it. Like, I'll go through a gallon of orange juice in a week.
That's the funniest little, like, fact you just, like, just wanted you to know.
Yep.
I love orange juice.
Just that way anyone knows. Yep. If anyone knows, if you guys schedule a time to train with me or if we're at a networking event.
That's your morning breakfast.
Orange juice, bring it for me.
You'll know.
I love it. Yes.
You'll know.
But I'll edit some video. I'll edit some photos because that's what I really started. Yeah. Because as you know, I did Florida Weekly years ago, and so that's where my first passion and professional career started was as a photographer, and so I just edit some content, and then from there I'm able to go train. There I'll go work a lousy 9-to-5 job that I do part-time that I'm not gonna say out loud. But I'll do that
you do what you gotta do. Yep. You do what you gotta do.
Hey, gotta make sure you got that stability, no matter what. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I'll go back to training, go to some event if it's possible, virtual or in person, cool. And then end my night.
So did you ever try to get into like the cannabis industry? As in like when everything blew up and like I was working at a dispensary at one point.
Yes.
Was that your jam?
And I did jump into one and it wasn't my jam. They fed me a bunch of lies and I'm just like,
right. I went in helping people and it was amazing. And then like just big kahunas took over and it just turned into profits over people. And I was like, oh, this is not what we were doing.
It was a bit of a disappointment in regards to seeing that realization. Yeah. However, that's not all of the industry whatsoever.
No, yeah, there's still, you can find your,
Yeah, not down here in Florida, because here in Florida, that is the industry.
Like Colorado.
Unless you're the traditional market. But yeah, as you're just stating, recreational states.
Traditional market is out for people.
Yeah. Traditional market, definitely still get that hookup and whatnot. Great people, patience over profit in that area. And anyone that still represents that, culture. But recreational states and whatnot, definitely. You could find some small mom and pop shops. I was just out in Vegas and for the Cannabis Awards because I was out there covering that for Sheldon and whatnot. Good time. Definitely.
Thanks for sending me.
Highly recommended that. But I was there and they had a blast. $8 concentrates. If anyone understands what I'm talking about, they'll be like, "Oh my God, that's great."
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But so that was a good time, and I do a little bit of consultations for patients and professionals who are breaking into the
because understand industry. Right, in layman terms too, it is overwhelming for people, and I like to do that as well because I think it's important for people to know instead of just like, "Oh, I heard it's good for you." Like with CBD, like when I didn't do anything when I was pregnant, but when I was breastfeeding, I still took some CBD for my anxiety and from the hemp plant. So I would just kind of talk to people then too, to let them know like my experience.
Well, I just talked with someone not last week, but the week before. He's 60 some odd years old. He just got into the industry, still has never smoked to this day, but he's in it. And I'm just like, okay, I'm proud of you that you got the job that you have right now, but like you have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a lot.
And there's a lot of that, but it's all right. If they're willing to learn and they're putting the passion there, then that's good. And I'm all for it. But then as you're well aware, there's people who much rather just be like, hey,
here, have this, and make sure to get this, and then have the worst experience, and you'll never come back.
Correct.
What are some of your goals for this year coming up?
This year, my goals are to
other than meeting Ice-T.
Oh yeah, I met Ice-T a month ago. Yeah, I did an interview with him for my business and blog.
I love Ice-T, by the way.
Oh my God. So my grandma too. So I took a photo and sent that to her because I'm very close with my grandma.
That's so cool.
And she's like, "Hey, you're by him. I help you out. And like, you don't get me an autograph." I'm like, "Listen, Don't
got a
worry.
picture for you.
I got
and I'll
you.
frame it.
No, even
You
better than
signed
a photo.
something?
Forget that. No, I got a video. Shout out to her.
Oh my gosh, she'll play that for
her
the
name.
rest of her
Yup,
life.
sent that to her. Got that blasted all over social media.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yup, and she's like, "Oh my God, my greatest grandson. This is why he's my favorite. All the rest of you."
I got a nice tea video.
Yeah, and I have other cousins that are way more successful than I am, and yet I am the favorite.
Well,
and
I
it's
mean,
like,
also you sent a nice tea video with her name in it.
Come on now.
But sorry to get off track. I just thought it was hilarious. And then your goals for next year.
Just basically get my business vlog blog, the highly recommended off. I already got 2 sponsors. Looking for more.
Cool.
So that way I can do
and
more traveling.
And what are they sponsoring? You talked about.
So basically I interview the genius behind whatever's highly recommended. So like
cool.
In the jiu-jitsu life, there are professors who are highly recommended.
Yes.
I've interviewed Carlson Gracie. I just interviewed Professor Joseph Manuel, Mikey Musumeci. I interviewed Mark Wasserman from Pop Brothers at Law,
so cool.
as well as restaurants, businesses, and products. I just got sent Rockabella coconut mango vodka for a taste testing, which I wanted to shout out to you too as well. Like,
okay.
Hey, in like a week or so, if you drink vodka,
sure.
come to this taste testing.
And you like taste test it, and then
we
you
ruthlessly review it.
Oh,
yeah.
cool! Like very honest.
Yeah, super honest. No BS.
Like tastes like gasoline or tastes like flowers.
Yeah.
Like we don't know.
Or exactly.
Worst hangover ever.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
That's exactly what we're going to be doing.
It's on audio. I mean, it's on recording, so it has to happen.
Yeah, so in that I do a video as well as articles I write, so that's what takes up most of my nighttime. And then just to teach more.
And then you have like a setup where like your cadence and content and everything, and you've been in that world for so long, so you'll just handle it yourself.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
super cool.
So
and teaching and coaching, which you'll do today.
Yep. Teaching jiu-jitsu, hopefully, to get more of that, and then mentorship as well as other people. Just that's more volunteer. Financially, though, consultations, more jiu-jitsu teaching, and then getting more sponsors for my vlog.
How long have you done jiu-jitsu?
Since 2012. Long time. I mean, I know people can't see it, but you see this finger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's jacked up from
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So did you notice when you, like with your breathing and everything like that,
helped
did it
so
help?
much.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, you start to get like full understanding of when to take a breath.
It helped you.
Yeah, you think that this is the time to take a breath or whenever prior to training, especially with my disability. But no, it's a whole different world because when you're literally wrapped up and someone's like, you see stars because someone's choking you out and you're like hyperventilating. Yeah. No, it makes you think differently and it makes you a lot calmer.
Wow. Do you ever like offer that for people who have like high anxiety?
Yeah, I offer training.
Well, to everybody, but I'm saying
anyone.
Like, do you give them tips that this might help?
Sometimes, but a lot of the time when I talk about, hey, jiu-jitsu will actually help you in so many different ways than you can even imagine, they're like wrestling, touching butts, other people, no pizza involved. I don't want to do this.
So maybe you're talking to the wrong audience.
I guess so. I mean, it is a lot of people, but still.
So do you coach women and men?
Yes. Yes. Kids, police, men and women.
Where do you coach?
Typically I teach at their houses.
Oh yeah.
Or
private lessons.
Or at my house. However, I was pre-COVID over at Physical Culture Combat Club in Largo, with Ryan, Coach Buggerman, helping teach kids and adults there.
That's really cool. That's something for me to think about. Noted. Okay. So we'll say one thing that really like on like a hard day or a busy day or just one that was like exhausting, like what's something that helps you kind of get through? Is it a book, a quote, cannabis? What gets you through? Okay. What helps you kind of just chill and get focused again?
If I don't have cannabis around, then it's definitely this phrase.
Okay. Oh, yay.
Yes. Shit happens. You just it's how you handle it.
Okay.
That's it.
That's a solid phrase. I totally back that up. So tell us where we can find you.
Okay. So you can find me at
Ice Tea's page.
Ice Tea and Coco's.
Oh, yeah.
But the highly recommended, all one word, _ at the very end, or J Resendez, that's JRESENDEZ 60. That's on Instagram. And then on YouTube, it's the highly recommended. And
awesome.
Then that's about it.
And you can find him at Not a Great Whisperer Podcast, at The Real K-Ray, KRay.com. But I am so glad through we'll just say, unique experience at work.
Definitely unique experience.
We find good humans, right? And that's the one thing I am very grateful for. And I love watching your journey. And I know you're just such a good human. I'm so happy for all the things that you're doing and everything that's making you happy. And I always say, like, through bad experiences comes good things. And it definitely was the people. 100%, right?
For sure. Yeah, because, I mean, it could have been so much better. A million times better.
Sometimes leaders shouldn't be where they are, but it's fine.
Whatever.
But I think, like, just the connections and all of us just, like, laugh about the insanity.
And I'm glad that we all did stay connected, especially with Dan, the hardworking man.
Good old Dan, the hardworking man. So thank you for coming today. I know traffic was a biatch, but you're at BK and Creative Studios in Ybor City, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
We're out.
Thank you.